Hello everyone, and welcome back to Lux, the channel dedicated to all things rich and luxurious. From what he wears to the things he's done to boost his credibility and more, we're going to show you the insane things that Tekashi 6ix9ine spends his millions on. But first, make sure to give this video a like and subscribe to the channel. If you're already subscribed to the channel, make sure you turn on notifications as we're releasing new videos every day. Number 5. Nothing. Yes, you heard it here, folks. 6ix9ine does not spend his money on anything. He lives a single, solitary, hermit kind of life, full of peace, and you know what? I can't keep this up. You know how wrong that all sounds? This is Tekashi 6ix9ine after all. You know that he isn't peaceful or a hermit. However, I wasn't exactly lying when I said he isn't spending his money on anything, because he's technically not. He's in jail! Yes, that's right. 6ix9ine is still in jail, and he's going to stay in jail for the majority of 2020. If you somehow don't know, 6ix9ine was arrested in 2018 for a wide menagerie of crimes related to the street gang known as the 9 Trey Bloods. He was a member of their group and did all sorts of terrible and violent acts with them in order to get quote-unquote street cred for his music career, which to be fair, he technically did get. But then the FBI caught on to what they were doing through the rapper, and thus brought the hammer down on all of them. And then 6ix9ine literally snitched his way to freedom. Well, mostly to freedom. The judge in the case could have released him on time served, but instead decided to hold him in jail for another year, which a lot of people were grateful for because of the nature of 6ix9ine, him being a punk and doing anything it takes to get out of jail, and how it would have looked bad that he wouldn't have gotten free after confessing to various crimes. So because he's in jail, he doesn't have access to the money he once had. But that doesn't mean he didn't buy things before he went to jail. And yeah, some of them were pretty insane. Number 4. His looks. 6ix9ine is in jail right now, and that's bad for him for various reasons. Not the least of which was that, while he was out, he loved to make his image into what he felt a rapper, quote-unquote, should look like, which included his hair, which he colored like the rainbow. But in prison, you can't have that. And as one person reported during a particular court appearance, 6ix9ine doesn't really look like 6ix9ine visually. I quote, "They had Tekashi come in and take the stands in his courthouse right here, and Tekashi looked good. He looked like he'd been working out. The hair dye was worn out, so his hair color's back and the braids aren't quite as tight or as thorough as they once was, but he looked good." So, as you can see, 6ix9ine is having to look more like a regular person since he can't continually dye his hair or braid it like he wants to. Sure, if he gets out, he'll be able to go back to that style, but until then, he'll have to enjoy the natural hair and hairstyle that he has. But oh well. And you can bet that he spent a lot of time and money making sure that his look was quote-unquote tight, or at least in his mind it was tight. Number 3. Gucci bag spree. One thing that really helps drive up a rapper's credibility is by having a feud with another rapper, and 6ix9ine had a very big beef with Chief Keef once upon a time. Ironically, no one really knows why they were beefing like they did, but these two clearly have a problem with the other, and as such, they got more and more creative with their insults and ways to embarrass the other as time went on. For example, Chief Keef has a baby mama named Slim Danger. She's a former adult star and has been in a battle with Keef over their child. Apparently, he doesn't take care of the kid, nor does he pay child support, and despite being taken to court about this, he still doesn't help out. So, 6ix9ine decided to make a video showing him quote-unquote helping Slim Danger. How exactly? By buying her fancy things. The video in question actually occurred outside of a Gucci store in New York City, and though nothing in the video shows what they buy, you kind of have to guess something was, and if so, it was rather expensive. Gucci only makes high-class items for the elite, of which 6ix9ine is becoming a part of, and he needs to be to afford a Gucci bag. Even a low-end version of Gucci can be around $700, and the higher you go, the more expensive it gets. A small backpack can cost around $2,000, and there are some purses in the store that could cost over $4,000. And there's another aspect we have to consider. Who's to say he only bought one bag for Slim Danger? He could have bought her multiple things to rub it into Chief Keef's face. Anything is possible in a beef. Point is, they likely exited the store with bags that cost a year's worth of salary for some people, and then he probably went and spent more cash on her to help sell the move even more. So here, we see 6ix9ine was willing to go all out to help sell a beef, even though he wasn't buying anything for himself. That's both crazy, weird, and stupid if you're being honest. Number 2. Rings. This particular entry goes into what he puts on his hands. specifically rings of a very expensive nature. Now, rappers love their bling, and flashing off stylized rings are a great way to show off just how rich you are. And 6ix9ine didn't spare any expense to ensure he had worthy bling. Just like 6ix9ine, these rings are unique. One of them actually features a rainbow, while the other is a 69. But that's just the start of it. Both of the rings are full of diamonds and gold. In fact, there are 15 carats of diamonds and gold in those rings. All told, the ring cost around $17,000, and like other things on this list, they were custom made by Jimmy Boy. On one hand, it's fair that rings of this nature are expensive, but you can't help but question the style choice. Not to mention, these are just the latest rings in 6ix9ine's ever-growing collection. And you can bet that once he gets out of jail, one of those first things he's going to do is put bling back on his fingers. Number 1. Jigsaw Chain. Arguably the most famous of his tattoos, outside of the 69s on his body, is that of the fictional character known as Jigsaw. He's a character from the horror movie franchise called Saw, which makes you wonder just what the intention is of not just having him on his body, in this case front and center on his face, but also by a blinged out pendant. It shouldn't have to be said, but diamonds are expensive, and it's said that the complete set was around $300,000. Yep, he did that. He made a diamond pendant focused on a guy from a gory horror franchise. Way to go, 6ix9ine. It would have been so easy for 6ix9ine to note that he did it because he loves the franchise, or is a horror movie fan, or just like the character. But many suspect that this is a much deeper meaning that does tie to the character. You see, in Saw, Jigsaw is a man who tries to teach people the value of the lives they have. He thinks that many people are actually wasting their lives away and does tests to try and show if they have the will to live or not. Despite it being a very gory film with lots of deaths, and I mean a lot of gory deaths, he claims to never intend for people to die in his traps, just for them to fight enough to live on. How does that apply to 6ix9ine? Well, despite his very crude songs and demeanors at times, he's a guy who understands what it's like to go and live a hard life. He started out poor, his father passed when he was young, he's had numerous bouts with the law, and so on and so forth. So to many, they think that 6ix9ine got a tattoo of Jigsaw to remind him to not waste his potential and to live life how he can and not exactly how he should. Which may be noble if he lived that promise to the fullest and not for self-betterment. 6ix9ine is known as one of the most controversial rappers in the world, and between his antics and his music have upset a great deal of the rap community, which is not likely the living life to the fullest that he likely is trying to go for, because what's life if everyone hates you? And when he snitched, he wasn't doing it to make amends. He was doing it to get rewards from it in regards to getting out of jail, angering even more people in the process. Yeah, you could argue he's fighting to live outside of jail, but he's burning everyone he can to try and make it happen. And that's not what Jigsaw would have wanted. In short, he's failing the game that he's playing. And the pendant is really creepy. Let's be honest with ourselves there. So, what do you think? What do you think of these insane things that 6ix9ine has spent his money on? Which of these do you think is the craziest of the bunch? Which ones do you think you would like to have? Let me know in the comments below. And thank you for watching Lux, the channel dedicated to all things rich and luxurious. If you like this video, make sure you check out some of our other videos. And to be notified when we release new videos, make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Until next time.